Hi, I'm Raven Nicole, and this is One-on-One with LP.
All right, here we go. Before we even get started, introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, again, my name is Raven Nicole. Wait, do you want what I do and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you do? Who are you? Why are you here?
I am a dancer, choreographer, entrepreneur. I do a little bit of everything, and mental health advocate. I didn't include that, but that's huge.
Okay, what are you mostly known for? If you could say one thing.
Dance and choreography.
Okay.
They're one and the same.
Okay. Well, let's start with that first. We'll move around.
Okay.
How did you get started in that?
Well, I was named after the first black ballerina, so I like to say it was already in my blood. My mom must have known something. I was named after Raven Wilkinson, and honestly, I was forced into dance at first, but I kind of fell in love with it because of the free perks, like getting into games and traveling and being able to meet new people without having to pay for it. I'm not gonna lie, I like the free perks.
Okay. So how did they grow from there?
Like I said, I fell in love with it, just being able to experience new things. And once you invest in yourself and devote enough time into what you're doing, you find a little bit of love for it. And with me, just one of the things that I'm passionate about is when I do find a love for something, I want to learn more and know more, and I dive into it completely until I know as much as I can. And as you learn and as you grow, of course, it's going to grow your business as much as it grows yourself, if that makes sense.
Okay, it makes a lot of sense. How long have you been doing it as of today?
So I've been dancing since I was about 3 or 4 years old, but professionally, on and off. I started dancing professionally when I was actually in like middle and high school, and then I stopped because I thought I fell out of love with it. When challenges arise, some of us, we quit, and then that passion comes knocking on your door like, no, you can't quit. I'm still here. So I quit, and then I got back to it in college and became the director of UNC's first co-ed dance team. And from there, I got hired to teach at 2 different studios at the same time. And I quit again because I thought I was going to go to law school and be a lawyer. And I realized the week of graduation, literally 2 days before graduation, I called my mom and I said, I am not going to law school. I'm going to go and tour. And she said a lot of choice words to me, but my family is overall supportive. She called back and said, if that's what makes you happy, do it and be the best at it. So I went to a few auditions and, landed a couple of good gigs.
And let's talk about that, because I've done my research before you, I've known you for a little bit, but then done some research. You are not just like a typical dancer that is dance locally. You have danced for some major artists. And I know you're the type, you don't like to brag on yourself.
Not at all.
But I know that, I know you dance for like Genuine. I know he's definitely, so who are some of the people you have danced for? That's just a better way to say.
Like you said, Genuine. As far as companies, I've danced for the Sacramento Kings, the Charlotte Hornets, Tank, 112, Teddy Riley and Guy, Steve Harvey. Goodness gracious. I have danced for P.D. Pablo. Was a really fun gig of mine.
Oh, wow.
Because that happened right after UNC, I'm a Tar Heel, UNC won their national championship, so it was lit. Gosh, the list really does go on, and I feel like I'm going blank right now.
Well, let's just say you have danced for a lot of major events and major artists.
Yes.
What do you think the biggest difference is, like dancing like locally or dancing locally versus like dancing for like a major artist? Is there any difference?
Absolutely. There's a difference dancing locally and dancing for major artists, and then dancing in an area that is not America. So dancing for a major artist versus dancing for a local artist, I feel like there's more of a respect for what you do and the amount of time that you've trained and the amount of work that you've put into getting to this point. I have often been offended by local artists that expect me to dance for free, and I have been training since I was 3 and 4 years old. Like, that's not possible.
Well, that promotion, you need some promotion.
Right, and I'm like,
dance for major people.
Exactly, that makes no sense to me. So that's always interesting. And then as far as the quality of work that they're willing to put in, local artists, I will say only about 10% of them are actually like really into their brand, really interested in knowing what to do to build their brand and really market it. A lot of them are just, I'm going to make music because I think I sound hot and I'm going to just put this out there, not realizing there's work to do. It's not enough for you anymore to just have a song that you like or that your friends like or
your mama say,
that's really good, little juju. No, you actually have to build your brand. You have to look like your sound. You have to be engaging to audiences. You have to be the full package. You can't just skate by on what you consider talent anymore. You actually have to come with some stuff. So for rappers and singers, when they think they're adding, dancers to their show, a lot of time they're like, oh, well, why don't we just do that thing from TikTok? And I'm like, don't do me. Don't. Do not. No, we're not doing that thing from TikTok. I worked too hard to do that thing from TikTok. And one that's stealing too, like plagiarism is real, especially in the arts. So that's one thing that I don't like about local artists. I respect the hustle, I respect the drive, but you really have to dive into your craft and put the work in. Professional artists, on the other hand, like, of course they know what it has taken to get them to that point. They know there's money involved. I am an investment, just like they are. So if they invest in me, they get a good product. Just like they're in the studio and they're working with their vocal coaches, they understand that I've been in the studio and I'm working with coaches and I've been training as well. Like it seems like they have a better understanding of what they're actually investing in, and they are very vocal about what they want to see. It's not just, well, let's just do this thing from TikTok. It becomes, no, I want my vision to come to life. If I want to look like a bird on stage, well, I expect y'all to flap wings or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're really like involved in the whole process. I've had artists come in and sit with me and tell me, what they want to see, and will be very particular about certain moves, which is helpful to me. I know for some people it can be like, okay, can you please just let me do what I'm doing? Yeah. But for me, I'm like, okay, talk to me, engage with me, let me know what you want, and let's collaborate to make this the best experience ever. And then on a bigger scale, I feel like there is a greater appreciation for the dance and choreography market overseas. I've been fortunate enough to tour overseas a few times, and they love dancers. They treat us almost like the celebrities itself. Like, it's a really interesting dynamic that they have. Like, I've signed autographs and taken pictures as a dancer choreographer, and I'm like, what, me?
Makes you feel good,
A little bit.
It should. Okay. You work hard, you deserve some of that praise.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool, especially I guess when you don't know the language, they don't know anything about you. The only way that you've been able to communicate with them is through your movements on stage, and in some way that has touched them. I think that is the most amazing thing. It's like dance has no language, but we're still able to, communicate with people just all around the world. We're able to communicate and connect with them.
Okay, that's great. But we'll ask you one more thing on the dance. We don't want, because you got so much stuff to go through. It's going to be a 4-hour interview.
And I talk a lot, so.
Nothing wrong with that. Is it possible for you to have, like, I know writers can have block, but when you choreograph and everything, is it just, what do you do when you have like a block and you just like, you know what, this is not coming to me, but you got a deadline, somebody done paid you, whatever. How do you work through that?
Listen, I have those blocks more frequently than I would like to have them. Just like with anything else, and I tell my friends this all the time, if you're having a block, you need to do something that is not what you're supposed to be doing. And that sounds so backwards, but for me, like if I have a deadline and I'm just stuck, I can't sit there and focus on dance. I have to go do something, whether that's playing a video game for an hour or like running. I don't care. It has to be something totally outside of dance. And I usually do something in nature because I can completely clear my mind and just move freely and release endorphins and just relax. And then I come back to it. But like I said, that's with anything in life. For me, I have to get away from dance often in order to create the best work.
Okay, you can get burned out.
Yes. And I think people forget that in any creative area, you face burnout. It's not like certain creatives are immune to it. Just like writers get writer's block, or singers, sometimes that melody will not come to you. Like, it happens with us too. I will love a song to the core and still not know how to move when it comes on. It happens. So just step away and come back to it when you have a clear mind.
And you quit about 37 times before you got so it's easy to lose. I think it's easy to lose the love for anything. Even with me, with doing fashion shows, doing photography, I take breaks. With photography, I can shoot a lot of people, but then I may do my tour photography. So I'm just not stressing over, oh man, they ain't got no clients this week. Because after a while, you will lose the love for what it is you're doing.
Another thing, when it comes to blocks, I find that when I actually take the time for myself to dance freely and dance without a deadline or knowing that money's involved, when I just go and I choreograph for myself, I can think better after I've gotten, whatever that is out of me. I don't have any pressure from anyone else but myself. Yeah, so like when you're shooting toy photography, like this is just you, the toys, and your camera, and you don't have to worry about anything else or anyone bothering you. It's just you and what you want to connect with. I do that as well.
Yeah, and the tours are always on time. They're never late like human people.
Like folks.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say.
Like that. All right, so let's talk about another thing. You are an advocate of mental health.
Yes.
And I know you have a certain movement going on. So let's talk about that.
Okay, I am currently certified in healing with the arts from the University of Florida, as well as mental health management through Yale, and I'm currently in a master's program for clinical mental health counseling. Mental health is, of course, important to me, especially right now. I feel like connecting with ourselves has become more challenging. We're facing, a pandemic, racial injustice, like so many negative things that we've gotten accustomed to tuning ourselves out and focusing on the negative. And I just want to bring self-care back into the forefront. And that's what I've been doing with Mindfulness movement, which allows people to engage in self-care practices those that might not have been open to conventional methods of therapy, or might not have wanted to seek therapy in general just because of the stigma that's attached to it. Mindfulness movement allows you to engage your physical, emotional, social, spiritual, all of that at one time through movement. You leave it on the floor, and by leaving it on the floor, you leave your emotions in that space and you move forward. Mindfulness, it focuses on being present and living in the moment and not worrying about the future or the past, just being in that moment and sticking with it.
Do you find it, and it's funny that when you talk about mental health, you know, I'm 42, so I came up in the old school, and it was like, if you're a black psychiatrist, that's for white folks.
Crazy people. What's wrong with you?
You know, just go to sleep, or, you know, take some Robitussin.
Pray about it.
You know, something like that. So do you, I guess I ain't gonna say do you run up on it, because I know you do, but why do you feel like it's so hard for, I speak for us black people, why do you think it's so hard for us to get past that, that ideas in our head, and this thing, it's okay to get therapy, it's okay to go see a psychiatrist, it's okay to talk about it?
Science has shown that trauma is passed down. Like, it's literally, and I can speak, you know, as a black woman, these things are now in our DNA. Like, even though people will say, well, you weren't a slave, get past slavery. It's literally in our DNA to have and hold that trauma. And then in contrast with that, we also have, you know, things that are passed down as far as our mental health. Like you said, pray about it, go sleep it off, or that's for white people, or are you crazy? What's really wrong with you? Yeah. You know, these are things that are passed down. There's a large stigma attached to mental health in the black community. I'm, like many other mental health advocates, are working to change that and shift that narrative. It's not easy, just because this is something that we have been dealing with. This isn't new. Like, this is something that we've been dealing with, and it's generational. Like, I know my mom is very open to therapy now, but that's not something that she was taught. Like, this is not, her generation wasn't doing that, and especially my grandparents' generation, like, no, you don't go sit about, you're not talking about the family issues with some stranger.
Yeah.
Right. So these are things that are passed down, just like traditions are passed down. Like, we open our presents a day before on, you know, Christmas.
Yeah.
Just like that's passed down, so is that stigma. And it's unfortunate, because we talk so much about, like, breaking generational curses and wanting to do better for the next generation and for our kids and things like that, but we can't keep blocking out the need for self-care and the need for self-awareness. So just getting people talking about mental health and talking about their feelings, like, and that's another thing, especially black men, like, knowing that it's okay, and that you do have a safe space, and that you have people that want to hear. I love to hear when my male friends, my black male friends, express to me how they're feeling. I don't care if you cry. I love to see you laugh, but I don't mind if you show those emotions. Why? Because I'm tired of, you know, people feeling like if they do express those emotions, they're, you know, soft, or they're less of a man. Yeah, that makes me so angry, because I'm like, well, what are you supposed to do with these feelings? If you keep putting them in your backpack, it's gonna get kind of heavy. You think you might need to let some of that out. So I don't know, it starts with the conversation, and it doesn't have to be, you know, some woe is me or anything like that. It just starts with, this is how I feel right now. Like, it's not uncommon for anyone to be feeling, you know, stress or anxieties, especially in this time in America, or just in general. But we really have to get talking.
I guess the thing I want to say too, that I know as a black man like myself, I'm not the biggest person when it comes to speaking on. I'm used to dealing with it internally. Mm-hmm. When I got married, my wife, she definitely doesn't like that about me. But it's hard to break a cycle, especially at like 42. When my mom passed, I was in my room, crying, and I had the pillow on my face. And my wife was just like, she wanted me to move the pillow. I'm like, get out of here, give me my time. And I just really feel like it's very hard, and I don't know how do we break that. And I think some women don't help either, because I've seen women say, you always in your feelings. So when guys hear things like that, they're not. Then when you open up, it can get thrown against you. So that makes it even harder for men to open up.
I totally agree, and I like that you mentioned that it is a cycle, and it's not an easy cycle to break. And I'm speaking to you as a Black woman. Like, I've seen both sides of it. Of course, I'm saying that I'm willing to listen, but yes, I have seen Black women say things like, why are you always in your feelings? You so soft, like all of this stuff. And
it's all the time.
I'm like, are you serious? But then you complain because a man is emotionally unavailable. You haven't made, yourself vulnerable to that man, and you haven't even made yourself open to hearing what they have to say. Like, how can you express that they're soft? And I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's almost triggering for me, because I'm like, our men need us, just like, men need women and women need men. We need each other. And if we're constantly battling each other, even though, the world is battling us too, like, who do we have? We don't have any type of support. Again, it starts with the conversation, but it really needs to be a conversation built around respect. And like, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, respect people's feelings, respect their honesty, respect their vulnerability. Like, it's not easy to open up. I have issues with opening up. I like to handle things my darn self. But at some point, I use the backpack analogy a lot. At some point, you have to take that stuff out of your bag. What happens if you keep putting stuff into it? Either the bag's gonna rip and you're gonna explode, or it's just gonna get too heavy and you're gonna hurt yourself. Take that stuff out. Take the weight off. Talk to someone. I would say I don't care who it is, but I do. Like, talk to someone who is willing to listen and will respect you and will hold your secrets in confidence, so that you don't have to worry about, well, I told you this and it went down the street and now Aunt Shirley knows.
Somebody coming to like, you all right? I heard something. So like, wait, what?
I told you this in pure confidence, and here you go telling everybody. Aunt Shirley do the church announcement. She done told the whole pulpit. Like,
the whole choir done showed up at the door the next day.
Right. So I think it's important to build a network of strong friends who are open to hearing what you have to say and are willing to be understanding and empathize with whatever it is you have going on in your happy moments and your sad moments. Just having those people that, like, I have wow, my network of friends is just, whew, God bless me. But I call them, and this is another thing, so before I move into that, but when you call your friends, always ask, hey, are you in a mental health space or in a mental space where I can talk to you? Like, can I vent to you? Because sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it, but we put so much on our friends or our support system, and
you don't know what they got.
Right. Whoa. Like, say good morning first. But my support system, I have one in which I can call them for anything. When they've seen me at my highest, they've seen me at my lowest, and everything in between, and I feel no shame with them. Like, I tell them everything, even when it's embarrassing and it seems like, like, I had a moment last month where I was just like about to quit dance again, and I'm like, I'm just tired of it. Maybe I'm not good at it. And they're like, okay, see, you're doing too much, but I'm gonna let you vent. But I'm glad that I have those friends that I can have those conversations with, that are honest with me, but most importantly, they allow me to just vent however I'm feeling. They don't try to, negate what I'm saying in that moment. They let me let it all out, and
then check you.
Yeah, and then check the heck out of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, calm down, we're back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to have those kind of friends because we're in a world where we don't got time to sugarcoat everything. And I know everybody's mental state. Everybody can't take a direct approach. Like me, I'm gonna just like get up. Like I would be the
Yeah,
worst
you
one
are.
to break. I'm like, I don't want to hear that mess because I've been there and I know how I got myself out of it. And I just don't like nobody to be like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I was like,
Sometimes it's just not okay.
yeah, you know you're wrong. You was like, I love somebody to tell me I'm wrong too. Cause I got a couple people that I can rant and they be like, yeah, but you know you was wrong at this and this and that. My wife is like that, and I'm just like, I don't even want to hear it. Just say disagree with me. I didn't.
I'm the same. Like, it's that Aries thing.
Yeah.
I'm the total same. Like, okay, that's nice and all, but I feel like I'm right. And they're like, no, well, here's where you could have.
Yeah. And you can't grow. You can't grow without that kind of
Absolutely.
energy. And I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with. Because sometimes when you are direct, you're the asshole, or he's always talking trash and he's so mean. I get that all the time. You're so mean.
Nothing but yes men in your corner, you have the wrong corner. You're in the wrong place, because that allows you to be comfortable and complacent. If you want to grow, get you some people that are going to tell you, no. Or how about we look at this differently? Or I have a new perspective for you. I don't want a whole bunch of yes men in my corner. Actually, I get upset when people are just yes, 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 yes. I know I'm not always right. I like to think I am. But I know I'm not always right. Please correct me. If you love me, correct me.
Yeah. That's definitely a great way to be. One more thing I want to hit on. I was on your page and I see you have a Miss Black America. Let's talk about Miss Black America.
Miss Black America, I'm really excited about it. So the Miss Black America pageant has been around for almost 100 years. And, well, it has not. It has been around for 51 officially, but prior to that, they were having pageants. I am representing North Carolina as a Miss Black America delegate. The pageant is February 6th. I will be in Philadelphia training and then showcasing from January 31st to February 6th. I'm happy to represent for Black women, like in general, but Black women who are on the move, Black women who are passionate about changing their communities, lifting up their sisters, again, being a support, building a network, and just showing younger generations a positive representation of what it's beyond like a beauty contest, a positive representation of what hard work, intelligence, just knowledge of self, what that can get you and where you can go with that. I'm excited. I can't find a dress for nothing, but I'm excited.
Should get somebody to make some. I know some pretty good designers now.
Please tell them.
Get something custom so you can really stand out.
I would love that, especially if it was a North Carolina designer.
Yeah, I got one of mine already.
Shamitria?
Yeah.
I need her contact. I've been meaning to ask.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna be the one one of the ones that I know.
Please.
Okay. All right. So before we wrap this up, what are you you have that going on? Anything else you currently have on that you want to give a quick plug to?
Okay. I can't detail who the corporate partner is, but I just got my first corporate partnership through Mindfulness movement yesterday. So I'm very excited to have our first event in December. I'm also, I'm involved in a lot. I did not realize this until that question came up. I also have a nonprofit organization, Motivate Incorporated, which is dedicated to preserving the arts. We do that by sponsoring kids and youth, and then also fundraising and providing scholarships to those that are hoping to pursue artistic careers in the future. So if you're going to college and you're looking for assistance, contact Motivate Incorporated because we want to help you and we want to push you to the next level. What else? I'm still working as a choreographer and dancer and creative director during quarantine. So a lot of the virtual shows that you're seeing, I have a hand in that, which is really fun. It's quite different not being able to be on the stage, but still being able to let my creative vision come out. I have totally enjoyed that. What else? Again, going blank.
All right, give us your social handles, then people can just follow you
and they can know everything.
Yeah.
My social handles are all the same. My name is spelled normally, so Raven Nicole. It will be at Raven_Nicole_. That's at RAVEN_NICOLE_ on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook-ish. I think it's Raven Nicole Choreography. But yes, you can find me through Instagram and Twitter for sure off of Raven_Nicole_.
All right, last words to our viewers.
You guys are awesome. Have a great day. No, I'm kidding. But do have a great day. But if you need any community resources for dance, choreography, and even your mental health, please feel free to contact me. Do not feel ashamed and do not allow that stigma to stop you from talking to someone. I'm happy to be a resource and connect you to other resources. And yeah, take care of yourself.
All right, thank you so much.